I found a pretty creepy Jesuit website online. Somebody at my Facebook page sent me a message, and that's how I found out about this. I'm going to read you what it says. Welcome. Welcome to the official website of the Order of the Jesuits Military Department. We are a highly intelligent and structured organization dedicated to protecting the Order against any outer or inner threats. We protect the Order by creating and using top secret technology to ensure that the Order remains secure. We employ millions of active and sleeper agents whom are ready and willing to serve the Order at a moment's notice. Thanks to our dedicated and large team of employees, we ensure that the Jesuits become the ultimate reigning force throughout the universe. We are also working on advanced warfare, which will enable us to apprehend and detain any enemies of the Jesuits. Current objectives. The Order is constantly under siege by different and varying threats. Currently, we are focusing our resources primarily on Gail Chord Schuler, an American woman who has gained a substantial amount of information about our Order from various sources. It is believed that Schuler has gained knowledge from several individuals, including Brent Spiner, Vladimir Putin, and Matthew McConaughey, to name but a few. We are currently working on a top-secret mind control device, which will ensure all enemies of the Order of the Jesuits are neutralized. Schuler is wanted for crimes against the Order of the Jesuits. The Order is greatly concerned that Schuler will soon release secret information which may bring great damage. The military department is working on technology which will apprehend this fugitive. And down at the bottom it says, the information presented on this website may be of a classified or otherwise secret nature. If you are not the intended viewer of the Order of the Jesuits Military Department website, please navigate away. The unlawful and/or unrequested distribution of classified materials will not be tolerated. Ooh, boy, this is a scary bunch here. Why so secretive? What are they up? It's because they're a bunch of murderers, that's why. Well, let me continue. Schuler is wanted for crimes against the Order of the Jesuits. The Order is greatly concerned that Schuler will soon release secret information which may bring great damage. The military department is working on technology which will apprehend this fugitive. Then I clicked on full profile, the link below, and then I got a really creepy page, man. Let me pull that one up. Let me see if I can read this here. In big caps, up at the top, it said, "Error, agent not found. Our highly advanced computing technology has scanned both your IP address and brain to determine your login details and has concluded you are not a Jesuit agent. Please note that attempting to access secret Jesuit information unlawfully is highly illegal and will result in being executed by a nuclear bomb made of semen." That is their nucaki. Then they have the same spiel at the bottom about the information presented on this website may be of a classified or otherwise secret nature. If you are not the intended viewer of the Order of the Jesuits Military Department website, please navigate away. The unlawful and/or unrequested distribution of classified materials will not be tolerated. And then they have something up at the top. Let me get on another page here. Protecting the Order of the Jesuits by all costs. The Order of the Jesuits is the most prestigious and important religion in the world. Yes, yeah. They believe in a worldwide dictatorship for a Jesuit pope, and they're willing to kill to do it. We have thrived in recent years due to our rapid and relentless action against any threats which face us. Their relentless actions include nukakis, which has killed billions already, which, you know what I think they're worried about? My writings are exposing them. I am currently working on 2 books at the same time, Vladimir Putin in Love, and the other one is let me get into a visible mode here. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and close this out. But right here, the corner of my eye has been bloodshot for the past couple weeks, and Last time this happened, and I spoke with Jesus about it when I was Skyping with Brent, that was a couple of years ago. Jesus said, "Don't sweat the small stuff, Gail." He said, "I'm doing that in saving your life." So apparently, for the past couple of weeks, Jesus has been doing some work on my body to protect me from what I believe is Jesuit brain control. So this Jesuit brain control that they're threatening in this website, I believe is legit. The website seems legit to me. Your first hunch would be that it's some sort of a scam, that it's not real. I think it is legit. For one thing, it's not you can't find this website easily online. You would have to know the numbers. And I'm going to trust Jesus to protect me from whatever it is they threaten if you expose this website. But I think it's more important to expose this website. And I've sent an email to my men about it, and I'm presuming they got it, but Zach could have blocked the email. So I'm going to go ahead and make a YouTube video to expose this website. And please let my men know at gailsmen@yahoo.com, GAILSMEN@yahoo.com, or at Gail Chord, Schuler, GAILCHORDSCHULER @gmail.com about this website. Because it's possible that Zach may have blocked my email to my men, and maybe they're not aware of this website. So they mentioned that they considered that I was going to expose some secret information. I'm a little puzzled by that, but I suspect it's related to the books that I'm writing. I'm working on 2 books right now, Vladimir Putin in Love and Shimmering Skies, which is going to be about Zach Knight. And apparently, when I make an audiobook, they're not able to switch it out with another version because I think they can't replicate my voice. So when I make an audiobook, I risk exposing them. I've heard that they're able to switch out the paperback or the hardback or even the Kindle version. In other words, the way they eliminate the threat of my writings when I expose them is that when people get my books, they don't get what I wrote. They get a switched out version. Since I started making audiobooks, it's been much more difficult for the Jesuits to do that. They're Satan worshipers, and they believe that the ends justify the means, which means they're allowed to do anything they want to come to power, which includes rape, murder, and they have already murdered billions of people and replaced them with Jesuit clones. That's why I had to pass laws regarding the clone scanners. Anybody who has accelerated growth hormones in their cells is no doubt a Jesuit agent, a very dangerous Jesuit agent. Because the reason what they do is they kill the authentic person and replace them with a dangerous murderer Jesuit clone. It's a very clever operation, and Zach Knight works with Satan, hoping that by replacing people with their clones and in that way getting the majority of people on earth on his side, he can convince God the Father that Satan is entitled to have Jesus Christ's position. I really think that's what the Jesuits are trying to do. Though, of course, they're not going to admit it. But my next book with Zach Knight as the main character is going to be going really deep into that. I'm also presenting evidence in Vladimir Putin in Love. Right now we're hearing all this stuff about the Ukraine, how Russia's the big bully. Vladimir Putin's an ambitious power monger who's willing to do anything to come to power. And there's some inconsistencies here. If Vladimir is such a power monger, then why doesn't, it's the United States that has bases near Russia, okay? We've got NATO presence in Europe, right on Russia's doorstep. And there aren't any Russian bases in Canada or in Mexico. I don't even think they have a base in Cuba anymore. So what's the United States all hyped up about, huh? I mean, Russia has reason to be concerned. See, the Jesuits are trying to close in on Russia because Vladimir Putin is in rebellion to Jesuit rule. He's against the Antichrist Zach Knight, so they have to destroy him. That's what's really going on in Ukraine. And they had a legit Ukrainian prime minister who got kicked out by the Jesuits and replaced with a Jesuit puppet prime minister who basically does what the Jesuits want to try to. The Jesuits are going to try to use Ukraine to get Russia under their control. I think their goal is to use Ukraine as a military base from which to launch nuclear missiles and all sorts of stuff into Russia, to attack Russia and get Russia to submit to the Jesuits. This won't be the first time. In my book, Vladimir Putin in Love, I'm going to be going into great detail how the Kursk submarine, this is not the first time the United States has attacked Russia. Did you know the Kursk submarine that went down in 2000, that was not because of hydrogen peroxide fuel on torpedo casings, which caused an accidental explosion. That was caused by two American submarines, the Memphis and the Toledo, that were in the Barents Sea with the Kursk submarine. And the Jesuit-run United States at that time was nervous because the Kursk submarine was conducting exercises to with their Shkval, it's called the Shkval torpedo, to test out their Shkval torpedo. And they were working with China on this, thinking of giving China this technology. And the United States, run by the Jesuits at that time, was nervous because they thought that's going to ruin our American supremacy in the ocean, which means it'll make it harder for us to get China and Russia under our thumb. So they sent their two submarines, the Memphis and the Toledo, around the Kursk submarine, and the Toledo, during the maneuvers, accidentally or on purpose, rammed into the Kursk and caused, that would be like a trawler going into the Queen Mary, and caused tremendous damage to the Toledo, so it had to limp away, the American submarine. The Memphis came in as a decoy to cover for the Toledo, which limped away after it rammed into the Kursk. And then all of a sudden, the Kursk submarine opened the container for the Shkval torpedo, and I guess the Memphis thought that the Kursk was going to get ready to hit it with the Shkval. And so what happened? The Memphis shot a Mark 48 torpedo, which is a torpedo that explodes when it hits its target, onto the Kursk submarine, and it rammed a hole right through the hull of the Kursk submarine, and then it detonated in the torpedo department where all the highly explosive Shkval torpedoes were. And my book, Vladimir Putin in Love, is going to go into great detail on this. And it caused a first explosion and then a second explosion, which was even greater. And both explosions were recorded by all the vessels in the vicinity, in the area. This has all been covered up. The second explosion was huge, and it caused the Kursk to sink down to the bottom of the seabed. And what happened is not all the submariners on the Kursk died, so they went to I think it was the rear of the submarine, which was far away from the torpedo compartment, or either the rear or the front, I can't remember. It's in my book. And they signaled for help. They said, you can rescue us, come and rescue us. Well, Vladimir Putin had an emergency meeting with his top generals, and President Clinton apparently called him on the phone, and they talked, and they came to a deal. And the deal they came to was, Clinton said, you're not going to let the world know that America attacked your Kursk. Because if you do, he said, are you prepared for war with the United States? And also, I think the Jesuits threatened my life if Vladimir Putin exposed what the Americans did to the Kursk. So to save me, and also to prevent a war, which Vladimir was sure Russia would lose, he lied and said it was all caused by an accident. And President Clinton, under Jesuit direction, forgave Russia a loan, I think a loan that they owed the United States, and gave them another loan. They made a deal between the two countries, and it's just pretty disgusting, just disgusting. Anyways, this is what I think the Jesuits are worried about, that I'm exposing stuff like this in my book.